Somebody pulled the brain out of poor RoboCop, threw it on my table. No, it doesn't look like RoboCop's brain. It looks like the other robot that fought RoboCop in RoboCop 2. It looks like his brain.
What was that? What was that robot? I forget.
It was some robot. It was some guy that was hooked on some special space drug that they had. And then they took his like spinal cord out and his eyes, and he was floating in there. And then that's how they got the bad robot to do what they wanted it to do. They gave it, and the drug was called Nuke. So they gave the bad robot some Nuke. And
here's some Nuke, buddy.
He came out with his little robot hand interior, and she's like, "Nah, you have to go do this first." And he's like, and then he goes off and he wreaks havoc in poor futuristic Detroit.
That's what happens to me when my wife gives me Nuke. I just gotta have it. Gotta have the Nuke.
Nuke.
Yeah.
That was the drug in RoboCop 2. Nuke.
Good times.
Really horrible. But there's a scene in RoboCop 2 where they're running like all the prototypes for the new bad robot, because they're trying to catch up with RoboCop technology, and they run through a bunch of these prototypes, and the beginning of that scene is the funniest thing in the world, because it's like way before CGI, and it literally looked like they're doing it with claymation figures.
Yeah.
And there's one where this like female robot comes out and she just goes, and then pulls off her head, and it's just a skull, and she falls over.
That is awesome. It looks like a Tool music video gone bad. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's great.
Tool. One of my viewers is sending me a Tool concert poster.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, awesome. Apparently he worked at some, I don't know, promotion, whatever the place that would like have access to all the concerts. So he has like hundreds of concert posters.
Have you seen them live before?
No, I almost did right before COVID, but then like I like to wait till the last minute to go to concerts and then buy a single ticket super cheap.
Gotcha.
And Tool tickets never got cheap.
No. Yeah.
And I don't get it, because like I don't like understand how that could be like a live band, because they're kind of like a heavier, more futuristic 9 Inch Nails, Pink Floyd kind of mashup.
Yeah.
And like I don't get, like, I don't know. I just don't, that's not the vibe I get from, or that's not the vibe I want when I go to a concert.
Yeah. Cool.
A mosh pit.
Go and start a fight.
Yeah. Bunch of 45-year-old guys without shirts on, rolling around like Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Yeah. It's appealing. It's awesome. It's what life is all about. It's what life is all about, Randy. How you doing, buddy?
All right.
Good.
Messed up my crossover.
Yeah. Before we got started, Randy was working on his crossover for the Encores, and unfortunately there was a mishap. So he gets the pleasure of desoldering and resoldering.
Well,
and
I don't think I need to desolder anything. I just need to figure out, I need to think through how I'm going to bring the negative leads from both drivers into the ground. Got to figure it out.
I think you'll do fine. I believe in you.
I do too, but I don't believe that I'm going to be maximizing all the quality wiring that Danny shipped to me.
Yeah.
I feel like I could.
Might need to make a shortcut here and there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we do what we got to do, right?
Yeah.
We do what we got to do.
I'm just looking at it in disgust, because I know, like, I was so excited for it. And now just like, I remember why I stopped making speakers now.
Yeah. It can be a doozy. There can be a lot of cursing involved.
Yeah. Well, Danny makes it look so easy too on the video.
He's done it like 1,000 times.
Right. Exactly. You know? Right. And
like,
it's like, you make sure you tin the soldering irons all nice and clean. And it's kind of like the guy that used to do Bob Ross.
We're just going to paint a tree.
Squirrel over here. And then Danny said, we're just going to solder this right here.
Yeah.
And tin this and tin that. See, all done.
Yeah.
All done. Here's your speaker.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you're like, God. And then you're trying to do this, the heat shrink with the
Honey, give me the heat shrink. No, the heat shrink.
No, this one, Rod. This one. Wanted to make sure I didn't screw that up because you only get a certain amount of heat shrink with it.
Yeah, that's it.
Don't be going to waste in that.
You got one chance.
Sure, it's made out of proper copper unicorn tears too. It's the perfect one. He's listened to a lot of heat shrink, and this is it.
This is it. This is the right one. Yeah. Well, dude, that's great. Good times.
The enclosure looks all right.
Yeah.
Got some teak oil on it.
Yeah, you I think did you post that video that you sent to me that you did on your iPhone? Are you planning on posting that video? Giving a shout out to Peter?
So I'm going to splice it into the video.
Good.
Into my video.
Good.
And I wanted to be done with that crossover tonight.
Yeah.
Not going to happen.
It's okay, man. It's okay. We'll get there. Dude, you're doing a good job, man.
Yeah. Great job.
Do you know what showed up at my doorstep today, buddy?
I don't know. Sack full of dog crap and a bag lit on fire. Someone running off.
It was Valor again. It was Valor.
Just
always Valor.
Threw a flaming bag of dog crap on your front lawn.
He got me again. That sly son of a gun. And he runs. Yeah.
Damn you, Josh.
Joshua. No, that did not happen.
It wasn't a flaming paper bag full of dog crap. That's not what showed up.
I'm glad it didn't come to that. Instead, it was the Klipsch Heresies showed up. What?
Is that like the size of like two? I bet they're bigger than like college dorm room refrigerators. Two of them.
Close.
Bigger? Taller, I bet.
Maybe a little bit taller.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
Did you look at them?
They're still in the boxes. I haven't even taken them out yet. I know.
Dude, I would have been like kid on Christmas morning. I'm like, I hope Klipsch doesn't want this box back.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know why, but I've already decided that that's like my in-game speaker. Like if I ever like have a bunch of money, I'm buying the Heresies, even though I've never listened to them.
The Heresy is your speaker, huh?
Even in my brain, though, I'm just like, this is it. This is the one. This is it.
Yeah. Yeah. What is it about the Heresy? What you just something about it that just you're like, yeah.
All the YouTube videos.
They'll get you. Those YouTube videos, they'll get you.
I'm trying to think. I know Zeos did a review on them once, and he actually got them like up high. He's like, you got to get these things off the ground. Really? And then Andrew Robinson, of course, had a really great video on him. Yeah. And I can't remember. It was just 2 or 3, 4 videos that I watched, and nobody had anything bad to say about him. Yeah. And I don't know if it was like their vintage vibe or how they looked, but I was just like, that's the one for me, even though I've never listened to him. I might hate him. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who knows? I heard they don't make a ton of bass though.
Right. That is what I don't know a whole lot about him, but I've heard that as well. And I heard that the Series 4 is the first time they've made a change in the Heresy, and that is that there is a port in the back, which is supposed to help with bass. I learned that watching is it Hoffman? I think it's Steve Hoffman's video. I was watching that just for a brief minute, and he mentioned that. Like, yeah,
you know, because I was like scouring the eBays, and I found there's like the Heritage 3, and they were in black. And apparently it was just like an open box thing, and they were significantly cheaper than what the 4s were. But I didn't know that there was a big change.
I got his name wrong, and I wanted to correct it. It's Steve Huff. He's got I don't know if you've seen any of his videos, but he does some pretty cool reviews. And I was just checking it out and clicked on it. And
probably have, because I've like literally watched every Heresy video out there.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's a lot of them out there. So it'll be fun to finally spend time with the Heresy and see what it's all about. I don't know much about the Heresy at all, but I do know that one thing I learned is that when it was originally like developed and designed, it was actually designed for a specific purpose to be a center speaker.
Right. I heard that.
Yeah, I think that, and this was like way back 50s, 60s, like way back then.
Yeah.
And I think they must have been experimenting with like 3-channel stereo, right? And so doing like a center speaker for pretty interesting.
It was just a play on words. He's like kind of a middle finger to everybody. Yeah. It's heresy.
Yeah.
So here you go.
It's a heresy. Here you go. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm excited, man. They look cool. I like you. I love that vintage vibe, and I think that's going to be fun to check out and see what it's all about. It'll be cool. It'll be cool.
Let me know how it goes.
I will.
Are you going to do sound commentary with clips?
Clips? That's what.
Sound commentary with clips.
Perfect.
Dad joke. Dad audio joke.
It's the best. Yeah. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah.
Sound clips with commentary.
You know, I'm going to use this stuff with them for sure. This is what I'm really excited to try because I want to get some tubes on those. Yeah. I know they are a sensitive speaker, so
yeah.
Let's see.
Tubes. It's like a cutting board with some light bulbs stuck into it.
That's what it is. It's not even. It's all
work.
It's a prop. Everything you see, it's just. I made it out of styrofoam.
Speaking of clips,
yeah. What do you got back there, buddy?
RB52, RB512s.
RB512s.
That's not confusing enough. RB51 and then 2 little I's.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's great.
Generation.
What's the deal with those? Tell us a little bit about those. What's the deal with those?
Is the clips. I don't know. So I found the RB612s a while back, and they're $250, which is a great price because the RB612 is the precursor to the R-160, I think. Anyway, you have the RP600. Did you just fall asleep?
No.
Okay, I thought you nodded off there for a second. You're lying to me. You did fall asleep. All right.
So no, I did not.
RP60. Sorry, you're messing with me. RP600Ms. All right, and that's everybody loves those, right? I have them. I like them. And then before that, you had the RP160, I think, or R160, something like that. And then before that, it was the RB612s. So it's the RP600M's grandpa.
Ah.
Okay. So RB512s is the RP500M's grandpa. So now I'm going like, all right, let's see if these are basically a affordable version of the RP500M.
That sounds great. That's awesome, dude.
So far, so good.
Oh, man.
Yeah, at like significantly less expensive, too.
Yeah. That's awesome, dude. Well, that's cool.
Yeah. Like $250. You know, it's funny because the RB612s were $250, and then I put my video out. Now they're $300. These used to be $200. Now they're $250. So we'll see. They're still worth it, though. I still think at that price, they're a really solid speaker.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude.
Just ruined the review. I'll get into more detail. I'm going to do sound clips with commentary. Just kidding.
I'm tempted to do. I'm tempted to do some funny wording. I'm tempted. Sound clips with commentary. Why not?
Done.
Why not? Why not?
Buy me a coffee. We'll call it even.
Boss, you got it. No problem.
Yeah. Soy latte with some type of unfiltered wheat milk, GMO, extra GMOs. Can I get an extra GMO on that? What? No, the GMO in there. Just mess with the barista. What are you talking about?
What are you?
I'm just trying to get my coffee the way I like it. It's the cold fusion and with the GMOs.
My wife was a barista
You
for
should
10
go
years.
in there with a cane and go, I want the cold fusion with the soy GMO. And just put it in there. I'll have an extra shot of it too.
Oh, can you imagine?
What are you talking about, old man?
Dude, my wife was a barista for 10 years, and the stories she would tell me, it's unbelievable. People, it's funny. You would think that most people would be very happy at the point where they are exchanging money for coffee, knowing this is like the start of their day. Like, and now I'm happy. And for the most part, that is true. But boy, there were some stories of some very crabby, angry, especially when you make the drink wrong. Then, yeah.
That's why I just drink coffee.
Just coffee.
No nonsense in it. No crazy tomfoolery.
No.
Nothing that, there's nothing to mess up.
No.
You pour some boiling water through some coffee grounds and then you down the hatch.
Yeah. No, none of this DMX foo-foo drink stuff that he's been doing. He's always talking about it, Randy. Just nonstop talking about it.
I wonder if someone was ever soldering up a crossover and then they figured out they did it wrong and then just threw it through the plate glass window. Give me my Frappuccino. I said caramel. What is wrong with you? Kicking out the thing.
Yeah.
Breaking the plate glass window, getting all the cake pops and running out of there.
I gotta say, I love me some cake pops. They're
pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Not ashamed to say the pink ones are my favorite. I really like those birthday cake, I think is what it is. That makes Dad happy.
Think they have a patent on those?
They should.
If they don't, they should.
They should. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you want to talk about speakers or something?
No.
I didn't think so. God. Can't find the cold soda.
I got in Revel. Yeah. First time spending time with these guys. So today was a big delivery day, and these are the F226Bs. I think they're like $4,000 or $5,000 towers.
Jeez.
Yeah. So
is that part of the PepsiCo brand of companies?
It is. Yep. PepsiCo. Yep.
Yeah. Revel.
Yeah.
I got excited, a buddy. Man. One of my patrons has some Revels, and guess what he's trying to do with them? Sell them.
Really?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah. He was super proud of them. He got them there like $2,000, and he's like,
not for him, huh?
Me. But I don't want to do contempt prior investigation, so I want to hear the Revels.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm excited. 2-way, 3-way, 4-way?
I would imagine these are going to be either a 2.5 or a 3-way. Let me look real quick while we're chatting and see if we can talk about them.
You know what I want to throw through a plate glass window right now? My phone, because it keeps lighting up and distracting me, so I'm going to turn it over.
That's always fun. That's always fun to do. Revel 226BE.
Great stuff, Ron.
BES. BE. Okay, here we go. 3-way. So they are
15-inch woofer.
No. Beryllium tweeter.
Oh, now you're talking.
Yeah. Beryllium tweeter. And
adamantium mid-range.
Got a 5.25-inch mid-range and dual 6.5-inch aluminum cone woofers.
Ooh.
It is front ported, and the one that they sent me is in white. I gotta say, I'm okay with white speakers. I think that white speakers look very, very nice. So
yeah, I just got some towers too. Not as fancy pantsy as yours.
What did you get, buddy?
Wharfdale 11.4s.
What?
Yeah, it's the last go round. They're
you
real
didn't
happy,
tell me this.
Real happy with what I did with the 11.2s.
Yeah.
And so gentlemen that all the Wharfdale 11.2s came from, I said, hey, Randy, I remember you emailing me, but I never responded to you. But now that I noticed that all my Wharfdale 11.2s are gone. Would you do a video about the 11.4s? And I, of course, said sure.
Awesome,
and
dude.
he sent me the center. I'm excited because I really like the 11.2s.
That's great. That's exciting.
Like a bunch of taffy, warm taffy.
Are those front ported or rear ported? Do you know?
They're bottom ported.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, at least the 11.2s were. I'm not sure.
Oh,
I think the 4s are the same way. Yeah.
Port on the bottom. Polk called and said, "Hey guys, you're late to the party." Yeah, that's cool.
Huh. Yeah.
Bottom ported.
These have been around for a while.
Huh. That's cool. Yeah.
But this is it. So there's no more.
Act now. Act now, folks.
They're actually on now. To be fair, I have not listened to them yet, so don't go running out there and buying.
Yeah,
hey, your old cheap audio man told me to buy these. Is the best deal of the century. Not yet. Just hold it.
Don't sell your Revels for these quite yet, guys.
Yeah, don't kick those down the stairs or anything.
No, not a good idea.
The balcony.
Do you? If you were to design a speaker, I mean, you've heard quite a few speakers at this point. You're gaining a lot of experience for sure.
Yeah,
dude, it's great. It's awesome. I admire that about you. Do you have a preference on ports in the front or in the back?
I don't think it matters. I think it matters how it was designed. Because I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
So let's here we go. RP600M.
Yeah.
Not super bassy. Rear ported.
No. That's a job.
If you get it close enough to the wall, in my opinion, you can bring that bass upwards, fuller.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Triangle, Bro 3, front ported.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very nice bass presence. A lot of bass presence.
Yeah.
Like debut reference. Front ported. A lot of bass presence, even out from the wall. ELAC B6.2 front ported. Got to shove it up against the wall to get the bass.
Get some bass, but you can.
Out. So it just depends. I personally just think it depends on how the speaker's voiced. I've never really noticed. I will say this way. I have never noticed that a rear port or a front port sounds a specific way. It all comes down to each speaker.
Yeah. That's cool, man.
Has that been your experience as well?
Well, I keep thinking about it because, it's kind of, I guess it could come down to what your objective is when you're setting up your loudspeakers, because my speakers are so far away from the walls to begin with that I'm not thinking along the lines of how do I get more bass out of this bookie by getting it. It's like the speakers are almost always kind of naked, like out on the floor, like, so I'm typically hearing like their actual drop off, without any boundary reinforcement.
Right.
And so, often I have to bring subs to the party if I want really deep, meaningful bass. So I guess it just depends on, whatever floats your boat, man. That's what my wife would say. Yeah.
So in that instance, I guess that's a completely different ballgame, right? Because and whether or not this is right or wrong, this is just how I do it. I put the speakers in a position where I think, I don't know, most people may, have that or put it, or maybe the uninitiated, maybe the person that's not familiar with lots, they're going to put them up closer to the wall or farther away from the wall. Yeah. And so I always usually start maybe 16, 20 inches away from the wall. Yeah. And then I'll go closer and then bring them further back. But now, since I've met you, I have done the bring them all the way out. Let's get in. See what happens. Yeah. And some speakers do a great job of that closer to the wall. UB52s, perfect example of that. Other speakers don't. And some other speakers just like the JBL stage A130s. Just disappeared. And they were gone. I don't know, about 24 inches, 30 inches from the wall. Wow. I literally just had them down on bar stools, and I don't even know why I had them down there. And I just sat down, and I'm just like, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
I didn't have to do anything, and they're just like, hey, watch what we can do.
Yeah.
I'm Harman Carden. Is that how you say it?
Harman Carden, I think.
Harman
sure.
Carmen. Isn't that of the Harman Kardon brands? Family?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, I got it right.
It is. So one of the reasons why I'm asking and I'm curious is I was investigating the other day and I did a little exercise with the Concept 300s, which I have been really enjoying. Okay. And I have them pulled out very deep into the room. They're about 5.5, maybe 6 feet into the room. So
do you find that to be a tripping hazard?
Yes. Absolutely. For sure. What I had to do is I actually have my speaker cables that go under my shag carpet, and then I poked holes where I can feed the wires.
I think you told me that. Yeah.
And that way the kids.
All right, Daddy's listening to music. Everybody go into their closet.
Dude, I got to tell you. So the two things, well, this will just be quick, and then I'll get to my point. Like you, I was a little bit nervous, I think is the right word that I would use, about these. They look like, and this isn't a dig against it, but they look like tent pole stands, you know?
Oh,
they're aluminum.
Yeah, this is the one I stuck my foot in my mouth about.
Yeah, metal. I mean, they're metal, right?
Yeah.
Steel rods. Yeah. And I was nervous about, my kids are going to destroy these in about 4 seconds. And this is just going to come toppling over. I'm going to be honest with you. Not a chance. They are so much sturdier than what I ever thought they would be. And I think one of the reasons they are well thought out, that once you extend them, there's this wire contraption that is connecting them all. And then it just secures itself, right? And it's got spikes, and that goes into the carpet. And then where they got smart is the speaker is screwed onto the top of the platform. So there's 4 screws, and that is secure on top. There's I would say it's actually more stout and sturdy than my typical monolith stands, which the kids have been close to, like, if not topping them over, whatever speakers on top of them, very close, because they're not secure, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I had them out in the listening room, and I was thinking about ports, and I was thinking about the fact that these guys are really, and this is crazy to even say this, they're one of the only manufacturers that gives us port plugs that I've seen. It's like you just don't see that as commonplace, and you would think that it is. Kef does as well, and I applaud them for it. So I'm out there, and I'm running some measurement sweeps, and I noticed that these guys drop off mid 40s, right? And they have, a decent roll off, but then you see another rise, which is the room reaction, right? There's something that is rising up around 30. And I'm like, that's interesting. Popped in the plugs, the most beautiful, clean roll off at 45 you've ever seen. It's just like textbook. It's like, the integration of a sub now to where I can now meet that and build that basic bridge, like a crossover, if you will. This is going to be easy. Like it was like that light bulb moment of, it's a piece of foam. Like everybody should have these whenever they plan on, if your objective is pulling them way out into the room like I do or whatever. They're going to be naked. They're not going to give you deep, meaningful bass because you're doing something with them that is not the norm. Dude, I got to say, man, I'm just sitting there going, this is going to be so easy to set up subs, and it's going to be smooth. And you know what? It was simple. Beautiful.
Very good. I need to do that. I need to try that.
Yeah.
Because I've got the 3020s, right?
Yeah.
Now you can't see it. You can see the edge of it right there.
Do those come with plugs as well? Do they give you plugs with those or no?
I'm almost 100% positive they do.
Wow.
Almost. Maybe. I don't know. 87%, 94. I don't know. I thought they came with plugs. I don't know.
I like 87. We're gonna run with 87%. We're gonna do that. I hope so.
I'm pretty sure they do because I've got the 3030s and the 3020Is.
I'm just telling you, you know, for dudes that, you know, run measurements and they want to get that sub perfectly integrated, that are OCD, it's going to make the job a lot easier because now you just have a clean roll off that you can just meet the sub with, and ta-da.
You know, one of the things I liked about Q acoustic, I always want to say Q like a pull Q acoustics. You know what I liked about them? So early on in the channel for Cheap Audio Man, like 6 weeks ago, just kidding. It was like 2 months ago, 8 weeks.
You're doing great, buddy.
So
I'm a big fan.
Thank you. I got the 3020s in, and why? Because I bought them from a guy used. And I remember looking at them and they were spec'd down to like 60, maybe. I think it was actually more like 62 or 63. Yeah. And I'm thinking to myself, oh man, these are going to be horrible for bass. And guess what? They weren't. And actually, they had one of the nicest roll-offs to where even though they were spec'd at 60 something, they sounded way deeper than a lot of other speakers that were spec'd lower. And that was the first light bulb moment for me to say, okay, this whole specification mambo jambo doesn't mean anything. You have to listen to these.
Yeah.
And I preferred that speaker, or I felt like that speaker had way more bass than a lot of the other speakers, all which were spec'd lower.
Sorry, that's awesome. I muted myself.
What'd you do?
I felt like I was going to burp, and so I muted myself. And so I was like, I'm going to
wait like poor Jim Carrey in Dumb and Dumber when he starts to dry heave.
All the interns are gone for the day, so I've got to man this button here on my own.
You're a one-man show. I get it.
One-man show, Randy.
It's difficult when all the PAs go home over here.
Yeah. So yeah, that's
production assistants.
Yeah. Yep. What are we doing now? We're doing this.
I have a chair that rotates.
I don't. You know what would be? I think I look forward to the day that you and I officially meet. You come over to my house and we eat a bunch of burritos and then we just lay on the floor cursing. But when you see how low I am to the ground,
I'm pretty sure I know. It's like a Japanese restaurant where you go in and the table's right down there and you stick your feet in there and you got to take your shoes off and everything. Take your shoes off, Randy. And I'm like, where is everything, Ron? And you're like, it's down here.
I'm telling you, man.
I'm like lay on the floor. Get your tube amps up there. It looks like a cutting board with some light bulbs.
It's hilarious. It's like literally the corner in our bedroom. I mean, there's a door right there. It's hilarious.
Like
man.
2 inches out of frame, there's a pile of laundry that you haven't quite gotten to yet.
Yep, there is. There's a pile of laundry right there. There's a bag of clothes over there.
Well, I'll show you. That's what's on the exact same table as what.
Look at this beauty.
Yeah.
There you go, folks.
It's like a freaking sea
cross
coming at you.
Oh. Crossover 101 with Danny Ritchie, the Cheap Audio.
Don't do what I did, because then you have to you get that white wire where the red wire goes and the red one where the white one goes.
I was shocked that you put it together so quick, man. I'm not like that. Like I've done a couple of crossovers and I'm at a point where even now, like if I was doing that tonight, you would laugh at how OCD I am. I get cardboard out and then I draw the schematic and then I place how everything I think is supposed to go. And then I send that picture to Danny and I'm like, is this right? Like that's how I did when I built my last AVOs, that's what I did. And he looked at it and he's like, no. And I was like, I'm glad I sent you this picture. And he's like, what
wrong?
I can't remember. It's been so long. I think I had something that was supposed to be going to shunt and I had it. I forget what I did. I did something wrong. And
I love that going to shunt.
It's just
there's so
it's
many
a cool
stupid things like tube rolling, ear pad rolling, going to shunt.
Yeah.
It's
We just make
going
up.
to ground. It's going to the negative part.
Don't tell him that, Randy, because then that just makes us all look dumb. Don't do that.
Well, anyway, well, if I hadn't done this a few times, maybe. But I mean, it's a pretty easy. First, it was pretty easy crossover.
Not a lot of parts, yeah.
And I mean, it's pretty easy. So it wasn't that big of a deal for me. And I like the power tools, so.
Yeah,
I got the drill out and I drilled a hole.
Yeah,
and I do like to solder. I'm not good at it, but I like to.
Yeah.
I just like to turn it on and then be like, "Hey, come here!"
Yeah, yeah. Do you make that noise when you solder? Is that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah.
One time I had this. So I went through like 3 cheap soldering irons, and for whatever reason, one of them had like a screw tip. So it was like a wand, but it wasn't like it was just connected into the thing. And so I'm trying out all these cheap, and I'm talking to one of my buddies, and he's an actual electrical engineer. And I'm like, dude, these soldering irons are garbage. And he's like, well, you need to get a good one. Here's get this one. It has the temperature thing. And so anyway, I'm like soldering, and it's not soldering very well. And there's like a knurled knob. And I don't know what possessed me to do this, but I was just like, and I'm like, and I'm like, and there's like the knurled,
instant regret.
There's knurled, and I'm like, why did I do that? I knew that I wasn't supposed to be doing that.
That was a terrible idea. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And the little lines were like burnt into the tip of my fingers.
Oh
like,
yeah.
And then I'm like,
yeah.
Fun with Randy. Randy does electronics.
So this just happened yesterday when I was putting together the encores.
No, I didn't do that. I finally got a decent soldering rig. Ron, you should see my soldering rig.
Here we go, making fun of Ron with his rig word.
It's just, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine, dude. What else do you have in the hopper in terms of gear and cool things? Cool things to chat about.
A whole bunch of stuff. Well,
what are you most excited about?
Can you tell me what the heck this is?
No, it's out of focus. Hold on. Is it a guitar cable? Are you taking up guitar? That's kind of cool. 1/4-inch input.
Yeah, me and Stevie Ray Vaughan. No, they're speaker wires.
Yeah, they look like maybe banana plugs.
But they're like jagged.
Can you bring it up close and oh boy, this is gonna stop looking at him, Sony.
All right.
Oh hey, I see your hand. Nice ring. I like your ring. Oh yeah, I see that. Yeah, it's a banana. Mm-hmm.
Is that a banana?
Yeah, sure is. Yeah.
Why is it all jagged in the middle?
Because it looks cool.
Is there any useful purpose for that?
For the jagged stuff? Yeah. No, I don't think so. I think that is
a way for them not to include more copper.
Well, there is. So I don't want. I don't know if this is true. So I am only going to tell you what I have heard is that one philosophy or one idea when it comes to like cables and connections is less mass, higher contact area. So you're trying to get as much contact area as possible with the least amount of mass for the signal to pass through. So maybe that's what they're going for in that design is, let's shave off as much as we can to minimize the mass and yet have a good contact area for the connection.
Yeah.
That's me taking a stab at it. I don't know.
Let me send this to the guy I'm supposed to be on a Zoom call with right now. And then I'm going to come back because I've got another question for you.
We're almost done. Yeah. So no problem.
Sorry.
Randy was gracious enough to accommodate me in doing this podcast tonight. Is it Monday, bro? It is Monday night. And the reason being is Clayton Shaw is going to be at my house tomorrow morning, which is exciting. And I don't know exactly why. I think he's going to be bringing me speakers and maybe cake I hope he brought cake.
Maybe a baby goat. I think that would be the funny. And I don't know if I've said this before. If I have, just stop me.
Yeah.
I've got a buddy, and he's got this big backyard, and it's got like a cinder block fence. And I think the funniest joke on the planet would be to get a baby goat and just drop it, just kind of set it over the fence, and then just leave, and just wait for him to come outside. And like he's got a big golden retriever.
Yeah.
And then there's a goat in my backyard.
Yeah.
Randy.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what we did to a guy in the Navy? So we used to play little jokes on each other when we were in the Naval Science Institute in Newport, Rhode Island. And so one of the things was I came back on the weekend, and all of the furniture from like the common areas for like 3 floors was in my room. Me and my roommate, we had a roommate then.
Just packed full. Yeah.
Yeah. Every piece of furniture was in our room. Right. So we had to like, you could not get into you opened up the door and it was just,
and you're full to the brim. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. And it was like wooden chairs, like stuff you'd see, I don't know, like at high school or something. So what we did is we went to like a nursery. Right. And we bought some sod, and then we went and we sodded one of the guys' rooms.
You did not.
Oh yeah.
That is epic. Sod. That is awesome.
We wanted to capture a goose and put it in there, but we couldn't get it. It was too quick. Because there was a lot of geese in Newport, and
I could see you just driving around. There's one. Get him.
Hurry up.
Yeah.
Biting you.
Yeah. I'm afraid of geese. I'm not ashamed to say that.
They'll
I'm
get
afraid
after
of
you
geese.
too. They don't like the kids. I always see the YouTube videos of the geese chasing around the kids and them screaming, "Daddy!"
It's true. Yeah.
Like
no, DMX
dad used to chase him around with the power tools.
Back when he was on the farm, dude, he's still traumatized from that. Earlier when I was, go ahead.
It's the worst joke ever.
It was the best joke ever.
I felt really bad about it because like when I did it, I was just like, I'm going to kind of a dark place here.
You did, and it was hilarious. Well, I think that here's the deal. You went to a dark place, and then you brought up divorce, and then you like laughed at him about his divorce. Like, was that a lot of fun? Did you enjoy the relentless?
So mean. Thank God Between Two Speakers hasn't come back.
Yeah, well, I miss it, buddy. I think we need to get that back into the
I think we need to get Taryn on the horn. He's gone radio silent.
What has he been up to?
I don't know. He's
slacking. Oh,
he's in the UK,
hanging out with Andrew Jones.
The commute to England's horrible from him from the UK.
Got it. Well, dude,
sometimes he has to go to Great Britain.
Yeah, I can imagine. Probably takes the trolley. That's probably what he says. I'm taking the trolley today.
Apparently
I feel like
he lives out in the country.
Really?
Yeah, in the countryside somewhere.
Yeah. I FaceTimed with him one time, and it seemed like his house looked like a cabin. It was just like all wood and pretty. And I'm like, can I come over and live with you? Because your house looks pretty cool. He said no. He said no.
No, he's got a bunch of kids just like us.
Yeah. Torrance dad? I didn't know that. I didn't know he's a pop. Yeah.
Maybe I was talking to the wrong guy.
I don't know.
Which British guy was I talking to?
Or maybe I was. Yeah.
He's a dad, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Again,
he strikes me as a dad.
Sure. Yeah.
You know why he strikes me as a dad? Because he doesn't get involved in all the YouTube BS drama that we see pop up. He's not, you never see his name in whatever
BS YouTube drama. I don't even know what you're talking about.
It just changes from day to day. You know, I'm not here to. No, I'm allergic to drama.
I'm a busybody. I love talking gossip.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I heard about Andrew Jones.
What'd you hear?
That he's making a sour cream now.
Oh, is he moved on from salsa? It didn't work out. People weren't getting the British flavor as much as he thought.
No, sour cream.
Smart move.
Maybe a bratwurst or two. I don't know. Yeah.
Even smarter.
Diversifying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently there's no money in speakers. All the money's in sour cream.
Yeah. Jones.
So stupid. All the money's in sour cream.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for the last 10 minutes of your life wasted listening to this.
Pound, it's way more profitable than methamphetamine.
Yeah.
Sour cream. Andrew Jones sour cream. Put it in your coffee.
Why not? Yeah.
I'm a British speaker maker. Nobody knows dairy like I do. Andrew Jones sour cream.
I can't.
Well, this just went right off the rails again, didn't it?
I can't rebound after that.
Oh, it's only funny to us audio nerds, too.
It's true. It's true. We have our small little world that we live in. And hey, speaking of small little worlds that we live in, you know who popped in on my live stream last night?
Who?
Mr. Robinson.
Here's to you. Mrs. No, it's Mrs. No, it's Mr.
Mr. A Rob is what I'm going to start calling
Andrew
him.
Robinson jumped on your live stream.
He did, and he was very helpful. We were talking about hanging styrofoam panels on the wall because during my live stream, we heard a large crash, which was one of my styrofoam panels falling to the ground and scared all the kids and everything. So I had to get out there and make sure everybody was okay and alive. Good thing that it's just styrofoam. Nobody was hurt.
So it makes a lot of noise when it falls to the ground.
You would be surprised. Oh, you're like, oh, wow, interesting. And so we were talking about different techniques, adhesives, if you will, of how to temporarily hang styrofoam on a wall because we're not going to live here forever. We're going to have to take that stuff down. So yeah, he was like, oh, command hooks or command strips. He's like, that'll work. I was like, oh, well, thanks for stopping by. Nice, cool, nice fella. Man. Nice fella.
I don't think I've ever seen him on anybody's live streams before.
Yeah. He's a sweetheart. I like that guy. He's a nice guy.
Yeah. We should all get together and, I don't know, play bridge.
I think we're going to get some tattoos together. We're going to get some.
Ooh, now you're talking.
I think he already has full sleeves.
Like shamrock.
I'm pretty sure. I'll probably cry. Right, I'd probably cry a lot. Actually have a tattoo, but I'd probably cry. Yeah.
Right there?
Yeah. I'm thinking about getting R&R on my cheek just in case. I mean, I feel pretty secure in the podcast. I mean, the last 10 minutes have been a bit iffy, but I think it's a good investment. Maybe on my forehead, so people really know I'm committed to the.
I don't know if that'd be a good move for you, just in case this whole YouTube thing doesn't work out.
If this was a job interview, I feel like I'm not selling it.
At Google. Hey, so I know we're probably going to have to talk about the tattoo.
I'm just going to throw this out there.
Prison gang. I had to do it.
They held me down. These noodle arms of mine couldn't defend myself against DMX and Valor, and Randy got on there with his tattoo gun, and it was game over.
You don't want me to tattoo you? I can't even solder anything together and just be a big mess all over here.
We should start.
It would be like me signing my name with my left hand.
We should start like a.
This is what it would look like, Ron. Classic Randy tattoo.
Oh, people recognize it right away. They'd be like, "Oh, R&R. Okay, yeah."
Did we do anything of redeeming value in this entire time?
No.
Sort of talking about sour cream.
Let's finish with one last thing. What do we got that we can talk about too?
I got a Yamaha 3-way speaker review going up tomorrow morning.
Do you really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. By the time anybody watches this, it'll already be out.
Is this the one that you were telling me about that you were like very thin walls?
It sounds like a Sounds like you go to the Home Depot, get one of those orange 5-gallon buckets, turn it upside down, and start playing the drums on it. That's what it sounds like inside. Yeah.
Okay. A little or a lot
Could
of
use
resonance.
could use a bit of bracing.
Yeah. 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 All right.
Pretty bad.
Let's try to be diplomatic here. So how much are they? Let's start with that. What is the
They're
price tag?
$130. $130 for a pair.
Okay.
But don't say that. But it's not, because Sony kills it with the SSCS5.
Okay.
JBL Stage A130. Now it's more expensive at $180. But if you can, if $130, I mean, just don't. I don't know.
Don't
eat
do
pork
it.
and beans for a couple of weeks. And
come on, Yamaha, eat pork and beans and
seriously, put some rice in there and just eat pork and beans. You'll be fine.
One strip of MDF, folks. One strip. It's all
I'm telling you.
A little cross bracing in there, and
I guess it would be fine maybe for home theater.
Okay.
I don't know if you want me to talk about it. I mean, the review is going to be out tomorrow, so I guess
we'll wait.
Matter. All right.
We'll wait. I don't want to spoil your review. That's fine.
It'll be literally when this goes up, it'll already be in existence.
Yeah.
Go watch the review.
All right.
See what I have to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, we had a lot of fun tonight. We hope that you did as well. This is the Ron and Randy Audio Hour. All the links that you need are provided down below, and the podcast is available on all the major platforms. That's going to be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all of it. And
Harry's podcast barn.
Harry's denied us again, so I think
we haven't made the cut.
Just haven't made the cut. We gotta, yeah. They wanted to see you in a tuxedo, and I said, that is just asking too much. And they said, both of you in cowboy hats or eye patches. And I said, well, now you're talking, and we'll see what we can do.
Yeah.
We'll see what we can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate it. And we will see you guys in the next episode.
Next time around on the podcast.